Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola praised the will to win of animal David Silva after his goals helped the Premier League leaders thrash Swansea and extend their record run of consecutive top-flight wins to 15. Silva scored twice, and further goals from Kevin De Bruyne and Sergio Aguero ensured City maintained their 11-point lead over Manchester United at the top of the table. The Spain playmaker elegantly flicked the fluent visitors in front from close range before De Bruyne's whipped free kick evaded several players on its way in. The procession continued after the interval as the elegant Silva delicately scooped the ball over Lucas Fabianski for Manchester City's third. Aguero then surged into the penalty area and drove in a late fourth as Swansea's sixth defeat from 9 home league matches this season left them routed to the foot of the table, 2 points adrift of safety. David is hugely competitive, everyone knows his skills, there is no doubt, a blind guy is able to see that, but you cannot imagine how competitive he is, Guardiola told BBC Radio 5 Live. He is a stylish guy, but he is an animal, always wanting to win games. City have scored 52 times in 17 Premier League games, with Silva getting 4 in 3 games, having also netted in the 2-1 wins over West Ham and Manchester United. It is so important for us that not just Gabriel, Jesus, or Sergio Aguero score, added Guardiola. Our attacking midfielders, our wingers, our set pieces, we can score goals and on the counter-attack. That's why I'm delighted for David that he is scoring goals. Magician Silva impresses. Match of the Day pundit and former England striker Alan Shearer added, "We are watching a magician in David Silva. His performances just get better. He gets everything ticking over at pace, left foot, right foot, you name it. He was creating chances for them all. It's so quick, there is not anything he cannot do, and his attitude is fantastic. It's absolutely magnificent, and how he looks after himself." Manchester City march on. Manchester City stretched their lead in the Premier League to a commanding 11 points with a 14th successive league win, a new record for the English top flight, in Sunday's derby against Manchester United. Their rowdy celebrations at Old Trafford irked United manager Jose Mourinho, who said they had shown a lack of respect by playing music loudly in their changing room. But, in the hours leading up to their match against Swansea, it was notable in the bowels of the Liberty Stadium that music was once again blaring out as they prepared. The visitors were immediately into their groove, with the recalled Aguero firing wide and Fernandinho's crisp low volley well saved by Fabianski. But the Poland goalkeeper was stranded when an in-swinging cross from Bernardo Silva found his namesake David unmarked and unhurried as he nonchalantly backheeled the ball into the net. Guardiola's men had barely broken sweat by the time they doubled their lead, De Bruyne's whipped free kick sneaking through a crowd of bodies and beyond an unsighted Fabianski. Given their 2-0 halftime advantage, they may have been tempted to ease off after the restart but, if anything, they increased the intensity as they continued to drive towards Swansea's penalty area. Their dominance owed much to the magic of Captain Silva, who played a deft 1-2 with Raheem Sterling before artfully lifting the ball over Fabianski for the third goal. Aguero joined in the fun late on, collecting a pass from Yaya Toure before driving into the Swans' box and finishing decisively into the bottom corner. Swansea stay bottom. The mood in the Swansea side going into this game will have been happier than it was a week earlier, with Saturday's win over West Brom, their first since October, easing the pressure on head coach Paul Clement. The 3 points also lifted the Welsh side off the foot of the Premier League table, only for Crystal Palace's dramatic late victory against Watford on Tuesday to move Clement's men back to the bottom. Although their home record of 5 defeats, 2 wins and a draw offered little hope, Swansea had at least demonstrated at times this season, such as the goalless draw at Tottenham, that they had the capacity to frustrate illustrious opponents. However, any thoughts of an upset on this occasion were swiftly put to rest. Swansea could not lay a glove on City and, although better teams have also been undone by Guardiola's often irresistible charges, Clement was disappointed with his side's meek display. They lacked tenacity defensively and could not keep possession for any meaningful length of time, which meant they were constantly under pressure from their frighteningly skillful opponents. Swansea's survival will not depend on fixtures against teams as powerful as City but, if they are to avoid relegation again this season, they will need to play with more fire and belief than they did on this occasion. Man of the match, David Silva, Manchester City. It was a masterful display from David Silva as he orchestrated matters in midfield and scored 2 delightful goals. Swansea's home woe continues, the stats Manchester City won't get complacent, what they said. Swansea City manager Paul Clement said, "At times it was horrible to be on the sideline watching that, seeing my side trying but suffering for long periods. They're not the games that will decide our season, but it was hard to watch at times because they were so dominant. For me, they, Manchester City, are one of the best sides I've ever come across, so many good athletes, so many intelligent footballers, and it's really hard to pin them down. We actually had some attempts on their goal, so I'm disappointed we didn't get on the score sheet, but they were a far superior side to us. We've got to put it to one side. We have got Everton away, next, and we've got to try and pick something up there. Asked if Swansea will spend money in the January transfer window, Clement answered, "If we're going to sustain Premier League status, that's a must." Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola said, "Considering we have had a lot of games in our legs, a demanding game at Old Trafford 3 days ago, we were solid, we were serious, and we made a good performance. When the team play good, we are happy and we understand what we want to do. We play good inside, outside. I'm so happy for David Silva. We cannot disguise his quality, but in the past he didn't score too many goals, but he's sharp and in an amazing condition." Asked if complacency could affect his team, Guardiola replied, "That is not going to happen. We are so demanding for our players. We can lose, we can drop points, but complacency, it has never happened in the past, the present or the future. Winning 15 games in a row gives us a lot of confidence. If people are happy watching us, that is the best gift." What's next? Swansea's next game is on Monday, 18th of December, 2000 hours GMT, with an away match against Everton. This was the first of 3 matches for Manchester City in a week. They play at home against Tottenham in the Premier League on Saturday, 16th of December, 17:30 GMT, and then face an away tie at Leicester City in the quarter-finals of the Carabao Cup on Tuesday, 19th of December, 19:45 GMT. Match stats. Home team Swansea, away team Man City. Possession home 22%, away 78%, shots home 7, away 23, shots on target home 3, away 10, corners home 2, away 5, fouls home 12, away 6.